and use their printer, and by the time I got there, because I couldn't get my car to start, and then, well,
Game. What a bunch of douchebags. I'm telling you, if EA were a high street retail brand, then they would probably be Game. A company disconnected from its customers, convinced they are doing everything right, ripping off their own loyal consumers any which way they can, gobbling up other businesses to fuel their grip on the market, then snuffing out those who no longer are required, all because they can. I stopped buying things in game years and years ago, mostly because they became insanely overpriced, and also because they no longer felt like a video game shop, to me, but instead felt like a business who cares, nothing for their clientele, just as long as the money comes in. Like EA gobble up studios and spit them out, Game have done the same in the UK retail market, or at least the dedicated, video game retail market. My first ever job in a video game store was in Electronics Boutique. That place, changed my life in many ways. I absolutely loved that job and met some, great people who have become lifelong friends. I also worked in another video game shop known as Game Station. Game, Electronics Boutique, and Game Station used to be, the main video game retailers in the UK. As well as some other retailers, but these guys were generally the biggest ones that you would see on the high street, all fighting against each other to offer the consumer the best service and deals out there. Well, Game not only bought out Electronics Boutique, but they also bought out Game Station, leaving Game to virtually be the main dominant high street retailer for the dedicated video game market. This is where, it all went belly up, but because, as we know, in the video game world, or in any market to be exact, where there's no competition, there's no need to innovate, and you can pretty much get away with whatever you want to, or, at least you think you can. I honestly don't want to waste too much time talking about these Muppets, but recently they came out saying that lately their profits have been down, and they are blaming Nintendo and their supply of the Nintendo Switch. Now, let me point something out here. Game in the UK have been on the ropes for years, and I think virtually everyone will agree that they are not going to be around for long. In their arrogance and their failures to address their issues and the changing market, Game have, already been into administration once, and there is nothing that I can see that will stop them from falling into it again. But to blame Nintendo for, their lack in profit? I tweeted not long ago my disgust at how Game treat Nintendo within their stores. Just look at this picture. This was just before the Switch was about to release, and you find it, behind a door in a corner with a large Minecraft standee in front of it. Honestly, I don't know what they expect. They, as a company, are an absolute joke, and I will no longer waste any more of my time talking about these fraggles.
Don't want to talk to you no more, you empty-headed animal food trough whopper. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Now, onto the real meaty shizzle we got here. Yeah. When I saw the games listings for the SNES Mini, the first thing that came into my mind was that the list of 21 games is better than anything the Xbox One and a PS4 has to offer. On a serious note, even though I was kind of being serious, you're just reminded about how amazing the SNES was. Amazing is not even a great word to use, actually. The Super Nintendo is one of the best consoles ever made. Arguably, people could say it is the best console ever made. You could always have those arguments, but it also has a library of games that still puts many games today to shame. Never mind what the controller brought to the industry, in regards to its shoulder buttons and the diamond-shaped layout of the face buttons, something virtually every controller has copied since. Many games on the SNES still hold up today, unlike the NES. I joked about this before, but once again I'm half serious. What 2D platformer on any Xbox or PlayStation system is better than Super Mario World or even Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island? If you want to know, the answer is none. But don't even get me started on A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy VI, and Secret of Mana. There's a reason why these games are still heralded as the best games ever made, and trust me, they haven't aged a day. I said not long ago that a SNES Mini would be far more desirable, overall than a NES Mini. Now I'm not chewing out the NES, but like I said, it's hard to go back to many of the games from the 8-bit era, whereas a 16-bit era for the most part still plays exceptionally well today. Then we have the hype around Star Fox 2. Nintendo releasing an unreleased game feels pretty radical for some reason, but I'm very happy it's coming. At this point I've refused to play this game on emulator, so this will be my first time playing it officially. So it'll feel right, especially with that SNES controller in my hands. It's also pretty hard to complain about the lineup of games for this system. Cause it's great. 21 fantastic games here, but naturally there's still many that that you'd love to have seen in the lineup. But this is testament to the insanely amazing lineup that the SNES had. If games like Chrono Trigger, Pilot Wings, Sunset Riders, Bomberman 2, and say Turtles in Time were on there, just to name a few of those games, I'm not sure my brain could have taken it. And if they also added Terranigma onto this list, by Crom, I would have had a heart failure. Terranigma is a rare SNES RPG that hardly anyone talks about, but it goes for insane amounts of money on eBay. But it's one of the best RPGs on the system, and one of the best RPGs ever made in my opinion. I was up till midnight the night that the SNES Mini was announced, to get my pre-order in on this thing. A story for another day perhaps. But if I'm being honest with myself, overall what I would have preferred, and I'm sure many other people would have preferred, is to have seen these games on the Nintendo Switch, on the Switch Virtual Console, if it ever happens. Now obviously we have no real idea what Nintendo are up to in terms of the Virtual Console, and all these games could still come to the Switch, and like the fool I am, I'd probably buy them all on there too. But anyway, just thought I'd get a quick news video out, and I'll be following up very soon with my purposefully delayed thoughts on E3 overall, very soon. So yeah, as always, thanks for listening, and I look forward to any of your thoughts in the comment section below. Peace.